Hello everyone, I'm going to be working on the kit sushi sauce. This is Maria Loves Art and we will be looking at package letter A, which does have wood. The next package is package D and it does have fabric and some wire and also some ribbon. I didn't see any glue with my package. I know it's supposed to have some. This is package letter B with a battery box. I do have some glue, so I'm going to go ahead and use that for this project. This is the wallpaper that will be going on the inside. All of these will need to be cut out. They are labeled and you can find them labeled in the book also. There is not a dark outline around each item, so just be careful not to cut the wrong thing out. So these transparent films will be used for the food display cabinet, the windows, and the freshness cabinet. So here we have the base. It is nice and thick and it is in great condition. So let's see what else we have in here. We have some wood, and with this wood it does have a couple of notches in it. I do like this, especially if you're going to put wiring through it. So this is sushi sauce and it says making instruction. So we're just going to go ahead and look at it real fast just in case you are doing this project. So the items in this little pamphlet are labeled. Bags are labeled A, B, and C. Shouldn't be too hard to find the items since there's not a whole bunch of bags. Make sure you have scissors, some glue, just in case your kit does not have any. Mine didn't. I think some of the confusing part might be the little items, the shapes, they're different, and sometimes the fabric looks different. A lot of times I just add other items in my craft room to the project. So here we have some templates. These are very helpful if you need them. If you're not planning on making this project but want to watch me, that is great. So this is the back wall to the building. The only problem is it does not have any notches where the wiring will be coming out. Oh, here's another package. The package has plants and flowers, so it'll be easy to find them. This is the box that keeps on giving, so this is E package. It doesn't look like much right now, but just wait until the end. It'll look so good. I'm going to go ahead and start cutting out the floor. So I'm going to go ahead and make the wood stand out just a little bit. I'm using an embossing tool and just applying some pressure. This is not something you need to do. I just enjoy doing it and I think it looks great. The tip of this embossing tool is very tiny. This looks really good and I feel like it makes it pop out. It looks beautiful and it almost looks like it has a wax finish. I'm going to go ahead and work on the stones now. I will be using a ruler just to keep the line straight. You should be able to see all the little lines that I made. I like the way it feels and I think this was worth it. All the detail will make it look so much better. I'm going to go ahead and add some glue and then I will be placing the floor on top. So this goes to the back of the sushi building. What I like to do is I like to work on one project. I'll put it down and come back to it. A lot of times when I'm working, I have company. Here's the little guy just underneath the table. So this paper is supposed to go in the back of the building where the wires are, but it does not have notches in it. So this piece right here will be going with this one in bag A. It's going to go on this one right here. It's one of the sides and I will be gluing it on top. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this little area out. It's time to add some glue. I do love adding a lot of glue. I want to make sure it's glued on very well. I can always clean up the sides. It looks so good. This is a little sign that goes in the front of the building. I'm going to sand it down and then paint it red. I'm adding a sealer. I'm going to be making this platter and I will be using some origami paper. So I need the little round platter and it is in bag A and it's right here. So I'm going to put the little wooden piece on top of the origami paper and trace around it. I went ahead and glued it on the wood and now I'm going to cut this little piece. We'll be going around the platter. So this little piece right here will be a piece of lettuce. You will need several of these. I'm going to use this white felt and I'm going to cut it. It's going to be our rice for our sushi. You can use a template for it if you need it. This is the platter that I'm working on, so we're going to need some tempura. So it's in this little bag right here. So this is what the shrimp tempura looks like. I'm going to go ahead and glue the lettuce leaf to the platter. Now I will be adding the rice. I'm going to go ahead and cut the strings off. It sure does look crispy. Let's go ahead and glue on the tempura to the platter. So I'm going to use some of this green felt and I'm going to use it to wrap the tempura. I'm going to work on a sushi roll with sushi and caviar. So I'm supposed to make 3 of these the same way. We only need 1 for the platter, but I decided to just go ahead and do these also. So now we need to cut a little piece off and put it inside. We will be needing these little red beads in this bag. I will be cutting 3 pieces. For these sushi rolls, we will be needing to make 6 of these. This is what we just finished making. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use some origami paper to cover the little platter. Just want to give it a little bit of color. I'm going to go ahead and trace around the little platter. I'm going to make some lettuce leaves. Let's go ahead and put this all together. I'm going to be working on these right here. I will need 3 of these for this platter. We're going to go ahead and work on these platters here, and here are the little items that we need. We will be using both of these, and if you notice, they are both labeled different. There are 2 little lemon wedges right here. We're going to go ahead and work on those. So I learned when I was using the scissors, I didn't have a clean cut, so I decided to use this blade instead. I will be using these 2 items, and I'm going to go ahead and start on the second platter. This is the platter we will be working on. Here are the different rows. So these aren't labeled, but they are labeled in the book. The color's a little different in the picture from the book, so it's a little tricky. Just pick one. This is the closest one I think that will work for this platter. So I'm going to cut it with this X-Acto knife because it makes a clean cut. I'm going to go ahead and cut out these 2 pieces and glue them together. I will be using this green wire to make the sign. Let's go ahead and work on this platter. I'm going to be using some lettuce leaves. I did arrange the sushi just a little bit different. I wanted the pattern to be seen in the background. So for this platter, I'm going to go ahead and use this origami paper right here. I'm going to go ahead and work on this, and I'm going to use an X-Acto knife to cut this. Sorry about that. I hope it didn't hit you. I'm going to use this embroidery floss to wrap around the sushi. It goes around much easier than the felt does. Here comes the boss. He's telling me it's feeding time. I'm going to go ahead and use these 2 pieces to make a little platter for the sushi. I'm going to use these two items here to make tempura and rice. I'm going to use this origami paper for this little platter. I'm going to need 2 of these identical sushis for this little platter. This sushi is a little bit too round. I'm going to need to make it squared, so I'm going to go ahead and use the scissors and cut it. I'm going to cut 2 slices of lemon for this platter. You might need to hold it for a minute so it can dry. So this is a little confusing because the outside looks different, but the inside looks the same color. I will be using this one for this project. I had already cut this little piece of raw fish. We'll be doing 3 of these with different combinations. So I went ahead and cut out the template, and then I cut out the piece of felt. Now I'm just seeing if it fits. I'm going to go ahead and glue it together now. I'm going to go ahead and dress up this little platter here with some origami paper. This little item right here, C23, it was so confusing because it looked like a little piece of felt to me. So I looked around and it actually is a seashell. When I found it in a bag, I was just thinking, wow, it is kind of big. So I'm just cutting this into little tiny pieces. It's going to get sprinkled on the sushi rolls. I'm going to cut this little adorable sign out and put it on this wood. So when I first bought this kit, I really loved it because it has sushi. Not long after, I went to this sushi restaurant and this was on the wall. It was so cute. That's when I knew I had to take these pictures and just put them in the video. I just thought I would share it with you all because I really do like it and I hope you do too. So I decided to change this color up a bit. I know it has color, but I just think it needs to be a different color for me. Since the color is so dark, I'm going to need a whole bunch of layers of red. As I was painting, I noticed that this little piece has lifted up. I'm going to have to glue it down. So here's what I have so far. And of course, I have a distraction. Let's see who it is. He's just hanging out doing his own thing. Let's get back to work. So this is what I will be working on next. There are a lot of little steps just to make one little platter. We want these two pieces to fit together once they're placed one on top of the other. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make sure it fits on the platter. It's still a little bit too big, so I'm going to trim it down. I'm going to go ahead and wrap some of this seaweed around it. So the reason why I did use this embroidery floss was because it seemed to wrap around the little fabric much better. It was just a whole lot easier and I wasn't really fighting with the embroidery floss. So this itty bitty little sequence is going to be a bow and I'm cutting a little tiny circle out of this felt. It's just crazy how small it is. I thought about using a hole puncher, but it was just too big. So all these little bitty pieces are done the same way. They're tiny, tiny items and they look like bows to me. So I'm putting them together in the same way. I think it would have been great if the items were labeled with the names. This looks like ginger sauce, but I'm not even sure if that's what it is. What do you think? So I had already covered this little platter with paper, so now I'm going to add the ginger sauce and the sushi. This little item is just so incredibly small, but once the video is done, I'm sure I will post a picture. I'll make sure to put pictures and some videos so you can see every angle of all the little miniature pieces that I have done. So this little item is called rice ball and it's labeled rice ball, and I am just using a template for this and I'm going to cut out the edges. I'm going to round them off. So here are 3 of the rice balls we'll be needing for this kit, and here is a template for the sushi wrapper. I only cut out one template and used it 3 times. We're going to add the ginger sauce and then use 2 of the rice balls for this little platter. So these are the labels for the bottles we will be making. We will need 5 of these white long beads and then 5 of these little beads. Let's go ahead and put these pieces together. So for these 2 platters, I'm going to go ahead and use this origami paper. I went ahead and glued them on, and when it dries, I'm going to cut them out. These are the 3 pieces that we will be needing to make this little bottle. I'm going to use this cardboard. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a very thin piece and wrap it around this little board. We're going to be making a little floral arrangement, but I'm going to change it up just a tiny bit. So this is the part where I'm adding more to this little flower arrangement. I think these bows right here are pretty cool because I feel like they didn't take as long and they're just rubber with some string. When it all comes together, it really looks like a bowl of noodles. We're going to work on this sushi roll here, and then we're going to add some sprinkles. While I was working on editing, one of our cats was starting to meow. She loves to play fetch. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. She said don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Thanks so much. So I'm going to cut out this piece down here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it and glue it onto a cardstock piece of paper that comes with the kit. This will give it more support. It's so much more sturdier now. Let's go ahead and cut up some lettuce. We will need 2 pieces. So when I'm looking at this, there's something about it. It just makes me want to watch more from this part because I know that more items will be added to it and it's really gonna look good. I know it seems like it takes forever, but just think about what it will look like when it's all finished. I've already done so much for this project, and this is going to be one part of it. We still have more to go, so I'm going to have to make a second part. So what I've been trying to do is try to record every single item, every little step that I can. It does take a very long time just by doing it, starting, stopping, getting the items that I need together, plus all the hours of editing. So I'm very glad that you're watching. So for this little sushi here, it does look different from the book. So if you want to go ahead and do that one, that would be fine. You'll find it on page 9. So I'm cutting out some rice right now, and we are going to put it together. Okay, so this is labeled roast pork sushi. So the layout is just a little different, but if you want to do it the same, check out page 9. I think it came out really cute and it's making me hungry. Wow, this looks like real food right here. It's the same little picture. I'm going to let you go for now, but please check back and have a great weekend. Thanks so much for watching.